Welcome to the Advanced Dual Health and Life Coach Certification. Today we're discussing faith-specific coaching modules, more specifically about the Jain spiritual coaching. Introduction. Understanding the Jain spiritual coaching. Jain spiritual coaching brings forth the profound philosophy of Jainism, a system of thoughts deeply rooted in the principles of non-violence, which is ahimsa, non-attachment, which is abhiranga, and rigorous self-discipline. Jainism is one of the oldest spiritual traditions originating in India, offers a holistic framework for achieving harmony between the mind, body, and soul. Its teachings transcend mere religiously, acting as a code of conduct for living an ethical, balanced, and purposeful life. Jainism advocates simplicity, equanimity, and deep introspection, emphasizing that true liberation, which is moksha, arises when one lives in alignment with these principles. Key points. 1. Ahimsa, non-violence. Ahimsa as a principle of non-violence is a foundation ethos of Jainism. It signifies much more than refraining from harming others physically. It extends to words, thoughts, intentions, and environment. Ahimsa reflects compassion in its purest form and it's intricately linked to empathy and respect for all living beings. Detailed explanation. Physical nonviolence. This encompasses avoiding actions that cause harm to any living being. Jainism promotes vegetarianism and, in its strictest form, veganism to eliminate harm to animals. Coaches in this paradigm often encourage mindful eating aligned with these principles. Verbal nonviolence. Jainism emphasizes the power of speech. Words have the potential to harm as much as actions. Practicing mindful communication, avoiding harsh criticism, and using words to uplift others become critical. Mental nonviolence. Even harboring thoughts filled with anger, hatred, or jealousy contradicts ahimsa. Coaching in this context encourages clients to reflect on their emotional patterns, replacing negativity with forgiveness and love. Environmental nonviolence. Jainism considers all entities, plants, microorganisms, and the ecosystems worthy of care. Coaches can guide clients to adopt sustainable lifestyles, reducing waste and promoting ecological consciousness. Applications in coaching. Example 1. A client struggling with anger management can be guided to practice mindfulness exercises like deep breathing or reciting affirmations emphasizing compassion. Example, I choose kindness over conflict. Example 2. Clients seeking guidance in ethical eating can explore adopted plant-based diets that minimize environmental harm and align with the values of nonviolence. Example 3. Encourage journalism around challenging situations and lead clients towards empathetic reframing, focusing on understanding rather than judgment or retaliation. Advanced insights. Ahimsa requires profound self awareness and mastery over instinctual reactions. Coaches can cultivate awareness in clients using tools such as body scans to detect physical signs of aggression or meditative visualization techniques embedding peace and calm. 2. Aparigraha, which is non attachment. Aparigraha means freedom from material and emotional attachments. It teaches that excessive attachment, whether to possessions, people, or outcomes, lead to suffering. By practicing aparigraha, one fosters simplicity, contentment, and clarity. Detailed explanation. Material aparigraha. Jainism emphasizes limiting one's possession and rejecting overindulgence. Non attachment to physical items fosters gratitude and contentment with what one has. Relational aparigraha. Attachment to people often leads to dependence and emotional suffering. Jainism encourages balance in relationships where love is practiced without possessiveness. Mental aparigraha. This involves detachment from the ideas, fears, and insecurities. It allows one to remain present and adaptive instead of clinging to limited beliefs or failed expectations. Applications in coaching. Example 1. Help clients declutter their physical spaces. For instance, support a client in adopting minimalistic practices by encouraging them to donate unused items that no longer serve their purpose. Example 2. If a client is fixated on a specific career goal and faces failure, reframe the coaching dialogue to focus on the lessons learned instead of the loss, guiding them to detach from rigid outcomes. Example 3. Encourage practices like gratitude journaling to help clients appreciate what they already hold rather than seeking validation through external gains. Advanced insights. Aparigraha encourages balance, not rejection. Coaches can help client understand that non-attachment does not imply apathy, but rather a healthy relationship with the resource, people, and the ideas. Spiritual discipline, also called as tapa or tapas. Tapas or spiritual discipline in Jainism refers to practices undertaken to purify the mind and body. It fosters self control, resilience, and alignment towards higher goals, transcending momentary desires. Detailed explanation. External discipline. This includes regulating physical actions and behaviors, practicing like fasting, dietary control, and mindfulness around physical activities, promoting focus and discipline. Internal discipline. This encompasses mental introspection and emotional resilience, regular meditation, introspection exercises, and scriptural studies are prescribed to develop detachment and emotional control. Application and coaching. Example 1. For a client seeking to improve their mental focus, introduce brief daily meditation routines inspired by Jain practices to foster discipline in their thought patterns. Example 2. A client battling procrastination can work on regulated schedules or small personal fasts from distractions like social media to cultivate self discipline. Example 3. Guide the clients to adopt periodic digital detoxes, mirroring the concept of not overindulging the senses, which can help reset their mental clarity. Advanced insights. The past focuses on the sustainability of effort. Coaches must not encourage rigid practices that could harm emotional stability, but rather tailor disciplines aligned with the client's capacity and goals. Key takeaways for life and health coaches. Holistic practices for client betterment. AHNCO, which is nonviolence, helps clients replace stressors rooted in conflict and aggression with strength in peace and compassion. Aparigraha, which is non-attachment, aids clients in breaking free from materialistic pressures and overdependence, fostering satisfaction and gratitude. Spiritual discipline, which is tapas, creates a foundation for lasting habits that align values with daily actions, ensuring meaningful growth. Application scenarios behind coaching sessions. Jain practices allows clients to establish routines that extend into workplace ethics, environmental contributions, and personal relationships, creating a multidimensional balance and fulfillment. Integrating principles without religious overtones. Adapt languages and exercises to respect diverse faiths and philosophies. Use phrases like compassion based mindfulness for himsa or freedom from excess worry for aparigraha in clients who prefer secular coaching structures. Best practices for Jain spiritual coaches. Coaches integrating Jain spiritual coaching methodologies should embody these principles themselves while providing actionable strategies for their clients. Below, the best practices are aligned with Jain ethics, accompanied by applications and examples for real world coaching scenarios. 1. Practice self awareness and ahimsa in coaching practices. Explanation. A Jain spiritual coach will exemplify non-violence not just in words, but in their demeanor and coaching tone. Constructive criticism should be delivered with kindness and empathy. Practical application. Avoid harsh language when giving feedback. For instance, rather than saying you failed to meet your goal, reframe to what are the lessons we can gather from this. Cultivates a safer space for clients. Moral empathic listening. Coaches can foster a peaceful environment by actively listening without interrupting or prejudging the clients. Example, a client expressing self doubt can be uplifted with reassurance, such as your progress isn't measured in leaps, but in the gentleness with which you move forward. 2. Incorporate ahimsa through eco friendly coaching practices. Explanation. Jainism extends non-violence to all living things, advocating sustainability. Coaches should lead by example in promoting environmental well-being through these practices. Practical application. Use digital documents rather than printed materials to reduce paper waste. Hold sessions outdoors in natural settings to promote harmony with the environment. Example, suggest eco-conscious strategies for clients like sustainable goal setting or decluttering sessions where they donate unused items to charities. Facilitate aparaya graha with clients' goals. Explanation. Detachment doesn't mean giving up goals, but rather approaching them without obsessiveness or dependence. Coaches should guide the clients in pursuit of aspirations while balancing contentment. Practical application. Encourage the clients to identify one material or emotional dependency they can release. For instance, a client overly attached to social validation may work on appreciating intrinsic worth through gratitude journaling. Help the clients reframe setbacks as opportunities rather than failures. Example, a corporate executive panicking over missing a promotion can be guided to identify other areas where they've grown, like new skills or enhanced leadership, reducing attachment to one outcomes. 4. Personalized spiritual disciplines, which is tapas for client capacity. Explanation. The path should emphasize moderation tailored to a client's capacity. Overly rigid routines could lead to exhaustion rather than enlightenment. Practical example or application. Introduce small, sustainable habits like daily mindfulness breaks instead of recommending overwhelming practices. Example fasting for an entire day. Use habit stacking for consistent growth. Pair an existing routine with new discipline, for instance, practicing deep breathing right before checking email. Example, a single mother overwhelmed by responsibilities can be guided to set aside 5 to 10 minutes for focused breathing, creating stillness without disrupting her demanding schedule. 5. Recognize and respect diversity in spiritual expression. Explanation. Clients may come from varied faith or secular backgrounds. Avoid imposing Jain terminology and instead adapt its principles to secular language when needed. Practical applications. Simplify terms without diluting the core concepts. For example, frame ahimsa as compassionate interactions rather than Jain-specific ethic. Make cultural adaptations where necessary, such as reframing aparigraha as healthy boundaries. Example, if coaching a client new to spirituality, introduce mindfulness practices without explicitly trying them to Jain traditions, focusing instead of universal benefits like peace and balance. 6. Align ethical values with health goals. Explanation. Many clients pursue health goals like weight loss or improved fitness. A Jain spiritual coach can coach clients to embed ethical approaches in achieving physical health. Practical application. For dietary coaching, such as plant-based meal options rooted in ahimsa, avoid restrictive language that reinforces guilt around food. Encourage the movement routines that respect the body's rhythm rather than imposing intense regimens. Example, a retired client with arthritis who feels compelled to push through pain can be redirected to gentle yoga or tai chi, respecting non-violence towards the self. 7. Promote reflection and gratitude practices. Explanation. Self-reflection, journaling, and contemplation helps the client understand and embody Jain principles deeply. Gratitude helps redirection energy from the dissatisfaction. Practical application. Create the guided journaling prompts, such as what are the 3 things you can gently release today that no longer serve you. Incorporate guided visualization exercises where the clients mentally rehearse materialistic or emotional burdens. Example, a client overwhelmed by clutter can practice reflecting on the emotional release and thought brought by donating unused items, transforming the process into a spiritual experience. 8. Develop long-term ethical coaching strategies. Explanation. Jainism focuses on lifelong balance and sustainability. Coaches should prioritize helping clients build long-term habits over the quick fixes we have. Practical application. Develop accountability systems for ongoing commitments such as tracking mindfulness and hours of the environmental goals. Create progress charts to reflect the sustainable improvement rather than short-term results. Example, partner with pro-environment organizations to provide client opportunities to engage in community-driven sustainable activities like tree planting or cleanup drives. 9. Actively model the Jain principles in your coaching practice. Explanation. The coach's behavior reflects the values they wish to impart. Leading by example fosters trust with clients and demonstrates authenticity. Practical application. Practice ahimsa by remaining calm and encouraging even when the sessions face challenges. Showcase aparigraha through minimalistic office spaces or online coaching platforms. Example, a coach who maintains a clutter-free, welcoming coaching space offers a subtle demonstration of balance and detachment. Let's have a look at some summary tables. Take some time to look at table number 1, which looks at the overview of key concepts in Jain spiritual coachings. We have a look at the concepts, definition, focus area, application, coaching, and some examples. Take a moment to have a look at table number 2, which talks about the applications of ahimsa in Jain spiritual coaching. They are the aspects, definition, practical examples, coaching activity, and the outcome. Table number 3 looks at the practical implementations of aparigraha in coaching. We look at the aspects, explanation, examples, coaching strategy, and the benefits. Table number 4 talks about the spiritual discipline techniques in coaching, which is the practice, definition, the purpose of them, some examples, and the impact it has. Table number 5 talks about the benefits of Jain spiritual coaching for clients. Here we have a look at the dimensions of it, the challenges addressed, Jain principle applied, outcome for clients, and some real-life examples. Take a moment to have a look at the multiple choice questions and have a look at question number 1 and 2. Now, have a look at question number 3 and 4 and have a look at question number 5. Thank you.